Close your eyes for just a moment. Picture this. You're sitting by a window in the most peaceful place imaginable, watching gentle snowflakes drift lazily past the glass. The world outside is transformed into something magical, blanketed in pristine white, while inside, a fire crackles softly in the hearth behind you. This isn't just any ordinary winter evening. You're nestled inside what feels like your own private snow globe, where time moves differently, where stress simply cannot reach you, and where sleep comes as naturally as breathing. Tonight, we're going to create that exact experience together. But before we begin this journey into complete tranquility, take a moment to prepare your space. Dim those lights, maybe adjust your pillow just right, and let yourself sink a little deeper into whatever surface is supporting you. We're about to embark on something special, something that will carry you from this moment of gentle wakefulness all the way into the most restful sleep you've had in ages. Now, what makes tonight different from all those other nights when you've tossed and turned, when your mind refused to quiet, when sleep felt like a distant promise that never quite arrived? Tonight, we're not just closing our eyes and hoping for the best. We're stepping into a carefully crafted world. A snow globe lodge where every detail has been designed to ease you into slumber. The gentle snowfall outside your window isn't random. It follows a rhythm, a pattern that matches the natural cadence of deep, peaceful breathing. The crackling fire isn't just background noise, it's a heartbeat, steady and warm, that will synchronize with your own pulse as you drift away. And here's what makes this approach so remarkably effective. Your mind, busy as it is during the day, actually craves structure even in sleep. It wants something to focus on, something gentle and repetitive that gives it permission to let go of all the day's concerns. That's exactly what we're providing, a complete sensory environment that wraps around you like the softest blanket, guiding you naturally toward rest. The science behind this is fascinating, though we won't dwell on it too long since that's not why you're here. When you immerse yourself in consistent, soothing sounds and imagery, your nervous system begins to downregulate, your heart rate slows, your breathing deepens, your muscles release tension you didn't even know you were carrying. It's not magic, though it certainly feels magical. It's simply your body doing what it was designed to do when given the right conditions. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. First, we need to properly enter our snow globe lodge. Imagine, if you will, that you're approaching this place just as the sun is setting on a perfect winter day. The sky overhead is painted in the softest shades of lavender and pearl grey, those colours that only appear during the most peaceful winter evenings. Snow has been falling steadily all afternoon, not the harsh, driving kind that stings your face, but the gentle, contemplative snow that falls straight down like nature's own meditation. Your lodge sits in a small clearing, surrounded by tall evergreen trees whose branches bow gracefully under their burden of fresh snow. The building itself seems to glow from within, warm golden light spilling from every window onto the pristine white ground outside. Smoke rises lazily from the chimney, a thin grey ribbon that disappears into the darkening sky. There's something timeless about this scene, something that speaks to the deepest part of your soul, that remembers what it feels like to be truly at peace. As you approach the heavy wooden door, you notice how quiet everything has become. The snow muffles all sound, creating a blanket of silence that feels almost sacred. Your footsteps make the softest crunching sounds as you walk, but even those seem to be absorbed by the winter air almost as soon as they're made. When you reach for the door handle, it turns easily in your hand, as if the lodge itself is welcoming you home. Step inside now. Feel that immediate way. The heated air seems to embrace you after a rush of warmth against your cheeks. The cool evening outside. The first thing you notice is the fire. It's burning in a large stone fireplace, the flames dancing in that hypnotic way dominates one wall of the main room. The chimney, and the sound is deeply satisfying in that only real wood fires can achieve. The logs crackle and pop occasionally, sending tiny sparks up a way that reaches right into your bones. The room around you is everything a winter lodge should be. Heavy wooden beams stretch across the ceiling, darkened with age, and giving the space a sense of permanence, of having weathered many winters just like this one. The walls are lined with warm wood paneling, and here and there, soft woolen blankets are draped over comfortable chairs that seem to be positioned perfectly for watching both the fire and the windows. And oh, those windows! They stretch from floor to ceiling along the wall opposite the fireplace, offering an unobstructed view of the winter wonderland outside. But here's where the magic really begins to reveal itself. As you settle into the most comfortable chair you can imagine, positioned perfectly between the warmth of the fire and the view of the snow, you realize that this isn't just any winter scene. You're inside a snow globe, and the world outside exists in that perfect, protected state of eternal winter beauty. The snowflakes drift past the windows in the most mesmerizing pattern. They're not hurried or chaotic, like real snow can sometimes be. Instead, each flake follows its own graceful path downward, spiraling gently through the air in a dance that seems almost choreographed. Some are large and fluffy, catching the light from your lodge and sparkling briefly before continuing their descent. Others are smaller, more delicate, like tiny stars falling slowly through the evening air. Watch them for a moment. Really watch them. Notice how your breathing begins to match their rhythm. And as a cluster of flakes drifts into view, out as they disappear past the bottom of the window frame. In and out, steady and calm, like the most natural thing in the world. Your body is already beginning to understand what's happening here, already starting to let go of the tension and urgency that you carried with you into this space. Behind you, the fire continues its ancient song. The logs have settled into a steady burn now, and the crackling has become more rhythmic, more predictable. It's the sound of comfort, the sound of safety, the sound of being exactly where you need to be. When you close your eyes, you can feel the warmth on your back, gentle and consistent, like being wrapped in the perfect blanket that never gets too hot or too cold. This is your space now, your snow globe lodge, where time moves at the pace of falling snow and burning logs, where the outside world, with all its demands and distractions, simply cannot reach you. The walls of this place aren't just made of wood and stone. They're made of peace itself, of that rare kind of quietude that allows your mind to finally rest. And as you settle deeper into this perfect chair, as you feel the warmth of the fire on your back, and watch the endless, gentle procession of snowflakes past your window, something wonderful begins to happen. The boundary between being awake and being asleep starts to blur. Not in a jarring way, not like falling off a cliff into unconsciousness, but like sinking slowly into the warmest, most welcoming bath you can imagine. Your eyelids are growing heavier now, but it doesn't feel like a struggle to keep them open. It feels natural, like the most obvious thing in the world to let them drift closed for longer and longer periods. When they're closed, you can still see the snowflakes in your mind's eye, still feel the rhythm of their descent matching your breath. When they're open, the scene outside seems even more dreamlike, more magical than before. The fire behind you has found its perfect rhythm now. Crack, pop, settle. Crack, pop, settle. Like a heartbeat, like breathing, like all the most fundamental rhythms of life condensed into this one perfect sound. And the snowflakes continue their eternal dance past your window, each one unique, each one beautiful, each one carrying you just a little bit further into the peaceful state that's your natural birthright. This is where we'll stay tonight. In this perfect snow globe lodge where winter is eternal but never cold, where fire burns without ever consuming, where snow falls without ever accumulating into something burdensome. This is your sanctuary, your retreat from everything that pulls at you during your waking hours. The beauty of this place is that it's always here, waiting for you. Whenever you need to return to this state of perfect peace, whenever the world becomes too much and sleep feels elusive, you can simply close your eyes and remember. Remember the weight of the chair supporting you, the warmth of the fire at your back, the endless gentle dance of snowflakes past your window. Remember that you belong here, in this space of absolute tranquility, where your only job is to breathe and to rest. Listen now to how the sounds are beginning to layer together, creating the most exquisite symphony of rest. The fire's crackling has found its deeper voice, those rich, resonant pops that speak of logs settling into their perfect burning position. Between the cracks, there's the subtle whisper of flames licking at bark, the gentle whoosh of heated air rising up the chimney. It's not just one sound anymore, it's a conversation, an ancient dialogue between wood and flame that's been happening for countless centuries, in countless hearths just like this one. And outside your window, the snow has begun to change its character slightly. Not dramatically, nothing that would disturb your growing peace. But if you look closely, you'll notice that the flakes are falling just a touch more steadily now. The spaces between them are smaller, creating an almost curtain-like effect that makes the world beyond seem even more distant, even more removed from anything that could possibly concern you. There's something profound happening to your perception of time in this space. Minutes might be passing, or hours. It doesn't matter. The clock on the mantle, if there even is one, has become irrelevant. Your body is operating on a different schedule now, one governed not by obligations or appointments, but by the natural rhythm of rest, the organic unfolding of relaxation that happens when you finally give yourself permission to let go completely. Feel how your shoulders have dropped without you even realizing it. When did that happen? Sometime between watching the 100th snowflake fall and listening to the fire's voice deepen, your body made the decision to release that tension you've been carrying. Your jaw has unclenched. The muscles around your eyes have softened. Even your fingers, wherever they're resting, have loosened their grip on whatever invisible burden they were holding. This is what your nervous system has been craving all along. Not just the absence of stress, but the presence of genuine peace. And that peace is building around you now like layers of the softest down, each moment in this lodge adding another level of comfort, another degree of safety. The chair you're sitting in seems to understand your body perfectly. It's as if it was crafted specifically for you, molded to support every curve, every angle, in exactly the right way. The armrests are at the perfect height. The back provides just enough support while encouraging you to sink deeper. Even the fabric against your skin feels ideal, neither too warm nor too cool, just perfectly, neutrally comfortable. Outside, the snow globe world continues its eternal performance. You might notice now that there's a subtle pattern to how the snowflakes move. They don't just fall straight down. Some spiral lazily to the left, others drift gently to the right, creating these beautiful, intersecting paths through the air. It's like watching nature's own slow-motion ballet. Each flake, a dancer moving to music only it can hear. And perhaps that's exactly what's happening. Perhaps there is music in this silence, a frequency so low and so gentle that you feel it more than hear it. It's the music of winter itself, of stillness, of the earth resting beneath its blanket of snow. Your heartbeat is beginning to synchronize with this deeper rhythm, your breathing finding its natural place in this grand, slow symphony. The fire behind you has settled into what feels like its most perfect state. The flames are lower now, but no less warm, burning with that steady, confident heat that speaks of logs chosen well and placed with care. The light it casts is golden and soft, painting everything in the room with the most flattering glow. Even your hands, when you glance down at them, look peaceful in this light, relaxed and still. Notice how the interplay between the firelight and the soft grey light from the snowy world outside creates the most soothing ambience imaginable. It's not bright enough to energize you, not dim enough to strain your eyes. It's perfectly balanced, like everything else in this magical space, designed to ease you into that drowsy state where thoughts become less sharp, less insistent. Your thoughts are changing now, aren't they? The urgent mental chatter that might have followed you into this evening is growing quieter, less demanding. Instead of racing from one concern to another, your mind is beginning to move more like the snowflakes outside your window, drifting gently from one peaceful image to another, without any sense of urgency or direction. Maybe you find yourself thinking about the warmth spreading through your body, how it seems to radiate outward from your core like ripples in a still pond. Or perhaps your attention drifts to the way your breathing has deepened without any effort on your part. Each exhale carrying away a little more tension, each inhale bringing in a little more calm. The boundary between your body and the chair is becoming less distinct. You're not sitting so much as floating, supported by something much more substantial than furniture. You're being held by the very atmosphere of this place, cradled by the combination of warmth and peace and safety that fills every corner of your snow globe lodge. And still the snow continues to fall, each flake catching the light from your windows for just a moment before disappearing into the growing accumulation outside. But even that accumulation seems purposeful, seems beautiful rather than burdensome. It's creating a landscape that it's winter stillness. The trees surrounding your lodge are becoming even more pristine, even more perfect and heavy with snow, their branches bending gracefully under the weight, creating new shapes, new patterns against the darkening sky. Everything is being transformed by this gentle snowfall, made softer, quieter, more peaceful, including you. Your eyelids are finding their own rhythm now, staying closed for longer periods, opening only briefly to confirm that yes, the magical world outside is still there, still performing its endless dance of winter tranquility. When your eyes are closed, you can still see it all so clearly in your mind. The snowflakes, the fire, the perfect balance of warmth and coolness that surrounds you. The sounds are blending together now into something that's less like individual noises and more like a single, complex harmony. The fire's crackling provides the rhythm, the snow's whisper adds the melody, and underneath it all, there's that profound silence that only winter can create. That sense of the whole world holding its breath in anticipation of something beautiful. And what's that beautiful thing it's waiting for? Your complete surrender to sleep. Your final letting go of the day and all its complexities. Your trust in this moment, in this space, in the natural process that will carry you from consciousness into dream so gently, you won't even notice the transition. You're settling so deeply into this perfect state now that the distinction between being here in your snow globe lodge and simply being at peace has completely dissolved. Your breathing has found that magical rhythm where each exhale seems to release not just air, but every single worry that tried to follow you into this sacred space. And with each inhale, you're drawing in something far more nourishing than oxygen. You're breathing in pure tranquility, pure rest, pure permission to let go completely. The fire behind you has reached that perfect stage where it no longer needs tending, where it has found its own sustainable rhythm of warmth and light. The logs have settled into their ideal positions, creating channels for air to flow exactly where it needs to go, maintaining that steady hypnotic crackling that has become the soundtrack to your descent into peaceful sleep. Listen to how the sound has evolved. What began as individual pops and cracks has woven itself into something more complex, more musical. There's the deep bass note of a large log settling, the mid-range whisper of flames dancing along bark, the high gentle hiss of moisture turning to steam and disappearing up the chimney. Outside your window, something magical is happening to the snowfall. The flakes are becoming larger, more languorous in their movement. They're taking their time now, each one seeming to pause and consider its path before continuing downward. Some spiral lazily through the air like tiny dancers performing just for you. Others drift sideways for a moment, caught by some invisible current, before resuming their gentle descent. The pattern is mesmerizing, hypnotic in the most wonderful way, drawing your eyes into a soft focus that makes everything else fade into comfortable background. Your body has made the decision to trust this process completely. Your muscles, starting from the top of your head and flowing downward, are releasing layers of tension you didn't even know you were carrying. Your scalp feels loose and relaxed. The tiny muscles around your eyes have let go of their vigilant watching. Your jaw has dropped slightly, naturally, the way it does when you're truly, deeply at rest. Your neck, which has held up the weight of so many thoughts today, is finally allowing itself to be fully supported by the perfect angle of your chair. Feel how your shoulders continue to drop, settling into a position that's lower than you thought possible. They're not just relaxed now, they're actively being supported by something larger than the physical chair beneath you. It's as if the very atmosphere of this lodge has thickened into something supportive, something that cradles every part of you without any effort on your part whatsoever. Your arms have found their natural resting position, whether draped over the armrests of your chair or resting gently in your lap. Your fingers are completely uncurled now, soft and still, no longer gripping onto anything from your day, no longer holding any tension from tasks undone or worries unresolved. They're simply there, peaceful and present, like sleeping birds. The warmth from the fire is penetrating deeper into your body now, not just warming your skin, but seeping into your muscles, your bones, the very core of who you are. It's a different kind of warmth than you've ever experienced before. This isn't the heat of a summer day or even the comfort of a blanket. This is the warmth of complete safety, of being exactly where you belong, of having found your way home to a peace that was always waiting for you. Your breathing has slowed to match the rhythm of the snowfall outside. In with the appearance of new flakes at the top of your window, out as they drift past the bottom edge and disappear from view. It's effortless now, this breathing. Your body has remembered how to do this ancient dance between air and rest, between consciousness and dreams, between the gentle awareness of being awake and the approaching embrace of sleep. The snow outside is beginning to create its own soft music now. You can almost hear it, that whisper-quiet sound of flakes landing on the growing accumulation outside your window. It's not quite a sound you can hear with your ears, but something you feel in that place between your thoughts, that space where your deepest awareness lives. Each flake that lands adds another note to this winter symphony, building a song of rest that seems composed specifically for you. Your eyelids have found their perfect weight now. Not heavy in a tired way, but gently weighted like silk curtains being drawn across the windows of your consciousness. When they close, which they're doing more and more often now, the world doesn't disappear. Instead, it transforms into something even more beautiful, even more peaceful. Behind your closed eyes, you can still see the snowflakes, but now they're made of light, drifting through a space that's both inside you and all around you simultaneously. The lodge itself seems to be breathing with you now, expanding slightly with each of your inhalations, settling gently with each exhale. The walls, the ceiling, the very foundation beneath you has synchronized with your body's natural rhythms. You're not just sitting in this space anymore. You've become part of it, woven into its fabric of peace and safety and warmth. Notice how your thoughts are changing, becoming less like thoughts and more like gentle images drifting through your mind. Maybe you see yourself as a child, completely relaxed and trusting, the way you could fall asleep anywhere when you truly felt safe. Or perhaps you see yourself as you are now, but lighter somehow, free of all the weight you've been carrying, floating in this perfect bubble of winter tranquility. The fire's warmth is reaching new depths now, melting tensions you've held for so long you'd forgotten they were there. Old worries are dissolving like snow touching warm ground. Ancient anxieties are evaporating like moisture from heated logs. Everything that's not essential to this moment of perfect rest is simply falling away, leaving only the pure essence of who you are when you're completely at peace. Outside, the snow has taken on an almost luminous quality, each flake catching and holding light in a way that seems impossible but feels completely natural in this magical space. The trees surrounding your lodge are becoming sculptures of white perfection, their branches heavy with accumulation, but somehow still graceful, still beautiful, still reaching toward the soft grey sky above. Your heartbeat has found its perfect pace now, slow and steady and strong, like the heartbeat of the earth itself beneath winter's blanket. Each beat sends waves of warmth and relaxation through your entire body, from the crown of your head down to the tips of your toes. You can feel your pulse in your temples, gentle and rhythmic, keeping time with the fire's crackling and the snow's whispered descent. The chair beneath you has become something more than furniture. It's a cloud, a gentle hand supporting you, a perfect cradle that adjusts to your every need without you having to think about it or ask for anything. Your body has melted into it so completely that you might wonder, in those brief moments when thoughts still arise, where the chair ends and you begin. Time has taken on that dreamy quality where minutes might be hours or seconds might be eternities, and none of it matters because you're exactly where you need to be, exactly when you need to be there. The outside world, with all its schedules and demands and urgent notifications, exists somewhere far beyond the snow-covered trees that ring your lodge. It's not gone exactly, but it's irrelevant, powerless to disturb the perfect sanctuary you found here in your snow globe world. Your breathing has become so gentle now that each exhale seems to carry you deeper into this state of perfect relaxation. With every out-breath, you're releasing not just air, but every remaining fragment of tension, every last whisper of the day's concerns, every tiny thread that might still connect you to anything other than this moment of absolute peace. And with each inhale, you're drawing in something that transcends ordinary air. You're breathing in the essence of winter's silence, the spirit of the fire's ancient wisdom, the magic of snowflakes that fall in patterns too perfect to be mere chance. Each breath is nourishing you at levels deeper than the physical, feeding parts of your soul that have been hungry for exactly this kind of rest. The snow outside is creating layers now, building depth and texture in the landscape beyond your window. But rather than making the world feel closed in or confined, it's creating the opposite sensation. The accumulating snow is making everything feel more open, more spacious, as if the white blanket is expanding the very boundaries of peace itself, creating more room for tranquility to grow and flourish. Your thoughts, when they arise at all now, are like those snowflakes outside your window. They appear gently, drift through your awareness without urgency or demand, and dissolve naturally without leaving any residue behind. There's no need to chase them or push them away. They're simply part of the natural flow of consciousness settling into rest, like leaves floating on a perfectly still pond. The warmth from the fire has penetrated so deeply into your being now that you've become a source of warmth yourself, radiating comfort and peace from your very core. This isn't the temporary warmth of external heat, but something that's been kindled within you, something that will remain long after you leave this lodge, something you can return to whenever you need to remember what true peace feels like. Behind your increasingly heavy eyelids, the world is transforming into something even more beautiful than what exists outside your window. The snowflakes are becoming points of light. The fire's warmth is becoming pure golden energy flowing through your body, and the lodge itself is becoming a space that exists both around you and within you, a sanctuary that you carry everywhere you go. Your spine has found its natural curve now, perfectly aligned with the chair's supportive embrace. Each vertebra is settling into its ideal position, creating a column of relaxation that extends from the base of your skull down to your tailbone. The tension that might have gathered in your lower back during the day is melting away like snow touching warm stone, leaving behind only a gentle, floating sensation that makes you feel simultaneously grounded and weightless. The fire's glow is painting everything in the room with that golden honey light that exists only in the most perfect winter evenings. When your eyes drift open occasionally, just for a moment, you notice how this light transforms even the simplest objects into something magical. The wooden beams overhead seem to glow from within. The soft blankets draped over nearby chairs look like they're woven from captured sunlight. Even your own hands, when you glimpse them, appear touched by this warm radiance. Outside your window, the snowfall has developed its own mesmerizing personality. Some flakes dance in tight spirals, as if they're performing a waltz with invisible partners. Others drift in long, lazy arcs that take them far to one side before they correct course and continue downward. A few seem to hover for impossibly long moments, suspended in the air as if they're taking time to admire the view from up there, reluctant to complete their journey to the ground below. The accumulation on the window ledge outside is growing deeper, creating a perfect white cushion that softens every edge, every corner, transforming the hard lines of architecture into gentle, organic curves. Snow is gathering on the evergreen branches too, bending them into new graceful shapes, each branch becoming a work of art, sculpted by winter's patient hand. Your legs have discovered their perfect position, whether stretched out before you or curled comfortably to one side. The muscles in your thighs have released completely, no longer holding the subtle tension of readiness to move or act. Your calves are soft and still, and your feet, wherever they're resting, have found that delicious state where they're neither warm nor cool, just perfectly, neutrally comfortable. Listen to how the fire's voice has evolved into something even more sophisticated now. There's a deep, resonant crackling as the larger pieces of wood settle into their final burning positions. Underneath that, a gentle whisper as flames caress the bark, and occasionally, a soft pop as pockets of moisture turn instantly to steam and escape up the chimney. It's become less like individual sounds and more like a continuous, complex melody that speaks directly to the most primitive, comforted parts of your brain. The snow outside seems to be falling in waves now, gentle increases and decreases in density that create an almost breathing pattern in the winter air. Sometimes the flakes are so numerous, they create a soft white curtain beyond your window. Other times, they thin out just enough that you can see deeper into the surrounding forest, where other snow-laden trees stand like silent sentinels in the gathering evening. Your face has found its most relaxed expression now. The tiny muscles around your eyes have completely let go, creating that soft, peaceful look that comes only in the deepest states of rest. Your forehead is smooth and untroubled, free of any lines of concentration or concern. Your cheeks are soft, perhaps even carrying the slightest suggestion of a smile, as if your body recognizes the profound gift it's receiving in this moment. The chair you're resting in seems to be slowly adjusting itself to your changing needs as you sink deeper into relaxation. The armrests feel perfectly positioned to support your arms without any effort. The back provides exactly the right amount of support, while encouraging you to surrender more completely. Even the fabric beneath you seems to be warming to match your body temperature perfectly, creating that seamless interface between comfort and rest. Behind your closed eyes, which are staying closed for longer and longer periods now, you can see the snow globe world in even greater detail than when you were actively looking. Every snowflake's path is perfectly clear. The fire's glow seems even warmer and more golden. The The lodge itself appears more spacious, more welcoming, as if it's expanding to accommodate your growing sense of peace and safety. Your breathing has found that magical rhythm where it seems to happen entirely on its own, without any conscious direction from you. Each breath is perfectly timed, perfectly deep, perfectly suited to carrying you further into this state of complete tranquility. The pause between inhaling and exhaling has stretched into these perfect moments of stillness where nothing exists except pure, undisturbed peace. The warmth from the fire has spread throughout your entire body now, but it's more than physical heat. It's emotional warmth, spiritual warmth, the kind of comfort that reaches into the deepest parts of your being and says, "You are safe here. You are exactly where you belong. You can let go completely." This warmth is melting away not just the tension in your muscles, but the tension in your heart, in your mind, in all the places where you store worries and fears, and the general friction of a daily life. Outside, the snow has begun to muffle even the subtlest sounds. The world beyond your lodge is becoming quieter and quieter, wrapped in winter's perfect silence. This isn't the absence of sound so much as the presence of the deepest kind of peace, the kind that exists in the spaces between heartbeats, in the pause between thoughts, in the gentle transition between being awake and drifting into dreams. Your hands have found their final resting position, completely relaxed and still. Your fingers are soft and uncurled, no longer grasping at anything from your day, no longer holding on to any tension or urgency. They're simply present, peaceful, like flowers that have closed their petals for the evening, content to rest until morning brings them reason to open again. The interplay between the firelight behind you and the soft, diffused light from the snowy world outside has created the most perfect ambient lighting imaginable. It's dim enough to encourage drowsiness, but just bright enough that you feel safe and comfortable. This is the lighting of perfect rest, of complete security, of being held in the gentlest possible embrace by the atmosphere itself. Your thoughts, when they appear at all now, are like wisps of smoke from the fire, rising up briefly before dissolving into the warm air above. They have no urgency, no demand for attention, no power to disturb your growing peace. They're simply part of the natural process of consciousness, settling into rest, like autumn leaves falling gently to the forest floor, contributing to the rich soil of sleep. The snow outside your window is creating the most beautiful patterns now as it accumulates. On the evergreen branches, it's building up in perfect white lines that follow every needle, every twig, creating natural sculptures of incredible delicacy and beauty. On the ground, it's forming gentle drifts and mounds that transform the familiar landscape into something from a fairy tale, something too perfect and peaceful to exist anywhere but in dreams. Your entire body has synchronized now with the rhythms of your snow globe lodge. Your heartbeat matches the fire's gentle crackling. Your breathing follows the rise and fall of snowflakes past your window. Even your thoughts, soft and infrequent as they've become, seem timed to the larger rhythm of winter itself, to the slow, patient pulse of the season of rest. The boundary between your body and the chair has dissolved completely. You're not sitting so much as floating in perfect comfort, supported by something far more substantial than furniture or fabric. You're being held by the very essence of tranquility, cradled in the arms of peace itself, surrounded by safety so complete that you can finally, truly let go of everything except this perfect moment. Behind your eyelids, the lodge is becoming more than just a place. It's becoming a state of being, a way of existing in the world that you can carry with you wherever you go. This perfect balance of warmth and coolness, of sound and silence, of activity and rest. This is becoming part of who you are, part of how you move through life, even when you're far from this magical winter sanctuary. The fire's warmth has reached that perfect sustainable temperature where it no longer feels like external heat, but like your own natural radiance. You've become a source of comfort yourself now, generating peace and warmth from your very core. This inner fire will continue burning long after you leave this lodge, long after you wake from whatever dreams await you, a constant source of the tranquility you're experiencing right now. Your breathing has slowed to match the deeper rhythms of winter itself, the slow expansion and contraction of snow-heavy branches, the patient accumulation of peace that builds flake by flake, moment by moment, breath by breath. Each exhale carries away another layer of anything that doesn't belong in this perfect state of rest. Each inhale draws in more of the pure essence of tranquility. The snowflakes outside have taken on an almost hypnotic quality now. Their movements so perfectly timed and graceful that watching them, even with your eyes closed, draws you deeper and deeper into a trance-like state of complete relaxation. They're falling like thoughts settling into sleep, like consciousness itself drifting downward into dreams, like everything that was once active and alert gently surrendering to the pull of rest. Your face has found that expression of perfect peace that comes only in the deepest states of relaxation. All the muscles have let go completely, leaving behind only the soft, natural curves of complete tranquility. Your jaw has dropped slightly, naturally, the way it does when you're truly, deeply at rest. Your lips might even be slightly parted, allowing your breath to flow with absolute ease and naturalness. The lodge around you seems to be breathing too, expanding gently with each of your inhalations, settling softly with each exhale. The walls, the ceiling, the very foundation beneath you has found its rhythm with your body's natural cycles. You're no longer just in this space. You've become part of it, integrated into its atmosphere of perfect peace and safety. Outside, the snow continues its eternal dance, but now each flake seems to be falling specifically for you, timed perfectly to your breathing, to your heartbeat, to the gentle waves of relaxation flowing through your body. The accumulation on the ground is growing deeper, creating an even more perfect landscape of white silence, a world where nothing harsh or urgent or demanding can survive. The fire behind you has reached its most perfect state now, burning with that steady, confident warmth that needs no tending, no attention, no concern. It simply is, radiating comfort and light and the ancient peace that comes from flame and wood meeting in perfect harmony. Its crackling has become the soundtrack to your descent into sleep, the lullaby that will carry you from this state of perfect relaxation into the even deeper peace of dreams. Your entire being has surrendered now to the magic of this snow globe lodge, to the perfect synthesis of warmth and coolness, sound and silence, activity and rest that exists in this sacred space. You've found your way to that place where sleep isn't something that happens to you, but something you sink into naturally, gracefully, like a snowflake finally coming to rest on the perfect surface where it belongs. And as you rest here in this perfect state, something even more magical begins to unfold around you. The snow globe world outside your window is revealing new layers of beauty, new depths of tranquility that seem to emerge directly from your own growing peace. It's as if your deepening relaxation is somehow connected to the very fabric of this winter wonderland, each level of calm you achieve reflected in the gentle world beyond the glass. The snowflakes are moving differently now, with an almost liquid quality that makes them seem less like individual pieces of frozen water and more like drops of pure serenity made visible. Some cluster together in small groups as they fall, creating delicate formations that spiral downward in perfect synchronization. Others spread out across the width of your window view, creating these beautiful expanding patterns that seem to bloom in the air before gently dissolving into the growing accumulation below. Behind you, the fire has entered what feels like its most sacred phase. The flames are dancing lower now, but with even more purpose, more intention. They wrap around the logs with an intimacy that speaks of ancient partnerships between wood and flame, between fuel and light, between the solid and the ethereal. The heat radiating toward your back has taken on an almost musical quality, waves of warmth that pulse in rhythm with your increasingly slow heartbeat. Your body has discovered something remarkable in this chair, in this position, in this perfect marriage of support and surrender. Every muscle fiber has found its natural length, no longer contracted with the unconscious tension of daily life, no longer holding on to the invisible burdens that accumulate throughout any ordinary day. Your shoulders have dropped so completely that they feel like they're floating, suspended in warm honey, supported by something far more substantial than the physical chair beneath you. The quiet is the kind of silence that exists at the center that goes beyond the simple absence of noise. This in this lodge has deepened into something profound, something of snowflakes in the heart of winter trees, in the pause between one living silence, pregnant with peace breath and the next. It's full of the potential for the deepest kind of rest. When you listen to it, really listen, you can hear the sound of your own soul settling into its most natural state. Your thoughts have become like the snow outside now, appearing gently in your awareness before drifting away without leaving any trace. A memory from earlier today might float through your mind like a particularly large snowflake, visible for a moment before melting into the warm atmosphere of your relaxation. A concern about tomorrow might spiral briefly into view before being caught by the gentle current of your breathing and carried away into the soft grey sky of approaching sleep. The window beside you has become more than just a barrier between inside and outside. It's become a portal into a world where time moves at the speed of falling snow, where urgency has no meaning, where every moment stretches into perfect contentment. The glass itself seems to have warmed slightly, not enough to melt the accumulating snow on the other side, but just enough to create a perfect barrier that keeps the cold at bay, while allowing all the beauty to flow through. Feel how your breathing has evolved into something that seems to happen entirely without your participation now. Your diaphragm rises and falls with the same natural rhythm as snow settling on pine branches, the same inevitable cadence as logs settling deeper into their bed of glowing coals. Each breath is drawing in not just air, but the very essence of this magical place, the concentrated peace that fills every corner of your snow globe sanctuary. Your eyelids have found that perfect weight now where staying closed requires no effort whatsoever. They rest against your cheeks with the gentle pressure of silk curtains drawn across the windows of consciousness, filtering out everything that isn't essential to this moment of perfect rest. Behind them, the world has transformed into something even more beautiful than what exists outside your lodge windows. A landscape of pure light and warmth and infinite possibility. The fire's crackling has woven itself into the fabric of your consciousness now, becoming less like a sound you're hearing and more like a rhythm you're feeling in your bones, in your blood, in the slow pulse of contentment that's spreading through every cell of your body. It's the heartbeat of home itself, the ancient song of safety and warmth that humans have been listening to since the first fire was kindled in the first hearth. Outside, the snow has begun to create its own subtle architecture, building small drifts against the base of trees, accumulating in the gentle curves and hollows of the landscape in ways that seem both random and perfectly planned. Each new flake that falls finds exactly the right place to land, adding to the growing sculpture of winter peace that surrounds your lodge. The world is being transformed into something softer, quieter, more conducive to the deep rest that's calling to you now. Your hands have become so relaxed they feel weightless, as if they're floating just slightly above whatever surface they're resting on. Your fingers are completely soft, curved gently like flower petals that have closed for the evening. There's no tension anywhere in your arms now, no unconscious gripping or holding. Just a complete letting go, that allows your entire upper body to sink even deeper into the perfect support of your chair. The warmth from the fire has penetrated so deeply into your being that it's reached places you didn't even know were cold, dissolved tensions so old you'd forgotten they were there. This isn't just physical warmth anymore. It's emotional heat, spiritual comfort, the kind of deep nourishment that reaches into the very core of who you are and says, you can rest now. You can let go completely. You are safe here. The interplay of light and shadow in the room has created the most perfect ambience for sleep. Dim enough to encourage your eyes to stay closed, warm enough to make you feel completely secure. The golden glow from the fire casts gentle, moving patterns on the walls, patterns that seem to dance in rhythm with your increasingly slow breathing. Even with your eyes closed, you can sense this warm light painting everything with the colors of comfort and peace. Your legs have found their most natural position now, whether stretched out before you or tucked comfortably to one side. The muscles in your thighs have released completely, no longer holding any of the subtle tension of readiness to move. Your calves are soft and still, and your feet have reached that perfect temperature where they're neither warm nor cool, just comfortably neutral, as if they've found their ideal environment at last. The snow outside is creating layers now, each new accumulation adding to the depth and richness of the winter landscape beyond your window. The evergreen trees are being transformed into sculptures of white perfection, their branches bending gracefully under the weight of gathered snow. But rather than looking burdened, they appear to be embracing their white mantles, welcoming the transformation that winter brings. Listen to how the sounds of your lodge have blended into a single, complex symphony of rest. The fire's crackling provides the deep bass notes, steady and reassuring. The whisper of falling snow adds a gentle melody line, so soft it's more felt than heard. Your own breathing contributes the rhythm, slow and measured and perfectly timed. Together, these sounds create a lullaby that seems composed specifically for you, designed to carry you gently across the threshold between waking and sleeping. Your spine has found its perfect alignment now, each vertebra settling into its ideal position without any conscious effort on your part. The natural curves of your back are fully supported by the chair, which seems to have molded itself exactly to your body's needs. There's no pressure anywhere, no points of tension or discomfort, just a continuous flow of support that allows every part of your torso to relax completely. Behind your closed eyelids, the lodge is becoming more than just a physical space. It's becoming a state of consciousness, a way of being in the world that's characterized by complete peace, perfect safety, and absolute trust in the natural process of rest. This feeling, this atmosphere of deep tranquility, is something you can carry with you wherever you go, something that becomes part of who you are. The snow continues its gentle dance outside your window, but now each flake seems to be carrying a message of peace, a small blessing that adds to the growing accumulation of tranquility surrounding your lodge. Some flakes catch the light from your windows and sparkle briefly before continuing their descent. Others seem to glow with their own inner light, as if they're made of crystallized moonbeams or captured starlight. Your face has settled into that expression of profound peace that comes only in the deepest states of relaxation. All the tiny muscles around your eyes have let go completely, creating that soft, unguarded look of total trust. Your forehead is smooth and untroubled, free of any lines of concern or concentration. Your cheeks are soft, perhaps carrying the hint of a smile as your body recognizes the profound gift it's receiving. The chair beneath you seems to be breathing with you now, expanding slightly with each of your inhalations, settling gently with each exhale. It's as if the furniture itself has come alive with the rhythm of your rest, becoming a partner in your journey towards sleep, rather than simply a piece of equipment supporting your body. You're not just sitting in the chair anymore. You've merged with it, become part of its structure of comfort and support. Outside, the accumulation of snow is creating a landscape that seems to exist outside of ordinary time, in that eternal winter moment where everything is perfect, everything is still, everything is exactly as it should be. The drifts are forming in graceful curves that follow the natural contours of the land, creating art from the simple act of snow finding its resting place. Each new layer adds to the beauty, to the silence, to the sense that this moment could last forever. Your thoughts, when they arise at all now, are like smoke from the fire, visible for a moment before dissolving into the warm air above your head. They have no weight, no urgency, no power to disturb the profound peace that has settled over your entire being. They're simply part of the natural process of consciousness, preparing for sleep, like leaves falling gently to the forest floor in autumn. The warmth from the fire has reached that perfect temperature where it no longer feels like heat from an external source, but like your own natural radiance extending outward. You've become a source of comfort yourself, generating waves of peace and contentment that seem to fill the entire lodge. This inner warmth will remain with you long after you leave this magical place, a constant reminder of what true peace feels like. Your breathing has slowed to match the deepest rhythms of winter itself, the patient expansion and contraction of snow-heavy branches, the slow accumulation of tranquility that builds moment by moment, breath by breath. Each exhale carries away another fragment of anything that doesn't belong in this perfect state of rest. Each inhale draws in more of the pure essence of the snow globe world's peace. The fire behind you has reached its most sustainable state, burning with that confident, steady warmth that requires no attention, no concern, no intervention from the outside world. It simply exists, radiating comfort and light, and the ancient peace that comes from the perfect marriage of fuel and flame. Its soft crackling has become the soundtrack to your descent into sleep, the gentle rhythm that will guide you across the bridge between consciousness and dreams. Behind your increasingly heavy eyelids, the snow globe lodge is expanding into something infinite, a space that contains not just this room and this fire and this window view, but every moment of peace you've ever experienced, every instance of perfect safety, every memory of being exactly where you belonged. This lodge exists not just around you, but within you, a sanctuary of the soul that you can return to whenever you need to remember what true rest feels like. Your entire body has synchronized with the gentle rhythms of this magical place. Your heartbeat follows the fire's patient crackling. Your breathing moves with the rise and fall of snowflakes past your window. Even your thoughts, soft and infrequent as they've become, seem timed to the larger rhythm of winter itself, to the slow, inevitable pulse of the season of rest and renewal. The snow outside continues its eternal performance, but now it seems less like weather and more like a meditation made visible, each flake a small prayer for peace, a tiny blessing that adds to the growing accumulation of tranquility that surrounds and fills your lodge. The world beyond your windows is being transformed into something that exists primarily to support your rest, to create the perfect environment for the deep sleep that's calling to you now. Your hands rest in their final position, so relaxed they seem to be floating, fingers soft and uncurled like flowers that have closed their petals for the night. Your arms are completely supported, no longer holding any tension, no longer carrying any of the invisible weight that accumulates during ordinary days. They're simply present, peaceful, part of the overall harmony of rest that encompasses your entire being. The boundary between your body and the chair, between yourself and the lodge, between your consciousness and the snow globe world outside, has dissolved completely. You exist now in a state of perfect unity with peace itself, supported not just by furniture, but by the very atmosphere of tranquility, cradled not just by cushions, but by safety made tangible. warmed not just by fire, but by the deep contentment that comes from being exactly where you belong. The lodge breathes around you, its walls expanding and contracting gently with your own respiratory rhythm. The fire pulses in time with your heartbeat. The snow falls in patterns that mirror the slow waves of relaxation flowing through your body. Everything has synchronized into a single perfect system designed for one purpose, carrying you gently, naturally, inevitably into the deepest, most restorative sleep you've experienced in longer than you can remember. And still, the snow continues. Each flake a small ambassador of dreams, carrying messages from the realm of sleep itself. Your breathing has found that sacred rhythm now, so slow and deep that each exhale seems to last an eternity, carrying away the last whispers of wakefulness with the gentleness of autumn leaves falling to soft earth. The pause between breaths has stretched into these perfect moments of absolute stillness, where nothing exists except the pure essence of being at peace. The fire behind you has discovered its most ancient voice now, crackling with the wisdom of countless winter nights, countless moments just like this one, where weary souls have found their way to rest beside its warmth. The logs have settled into their final arrangement, creating perfect channels for air to flow exactly where it needs to go, maintaining that steady, hypnotic rhythm that speaks directly to the most primitive, comforted parts of your consciousness. Your body has become so light now that you might wonder if you're still sitting in the chair at all, or if you've somehow dissolved into the very atmosphere of tranquility that fills the lodge. Your shoulders float weightlessly, no longer bound by gravity or tension. Your arms rest as if suspended in warm honey, supported by something far more substantial than the physical armrests beneath them. Even your head has found that perfect angle, where your neck requires no effort whatsoever to hold it upright. Outside your window, the snow has begun to fall in patterns so intricate, so purposeful, that they seem choreographed by some divine intelligence that understands exactly what your soul needs to see in order to surrender completely. Some flakes dance together in small groups, spiraling downward in perfect formation, like aerial ballets performed just for you. Others drift alone across the window frame, taking their time, savoring their journey through the crystalline air. The accumulation beyond the glass is creating a landscape that exists in that timeless space where winter becomes eternal, where the harsh edges of the ordinary world are softened into curves of perfect peace. Snow gathers on the window ledge in a perfect white cushion that seems to muffle not just sound, but all the sharp concerns of daily life. The evergreen branches bend gracefully under their burden of gathered flakes, creating new shapes, new patterns of beauty that shift and evolve with each gentle addition. Your thoughts have become like the smoke rising from the fire now, visible for brief moments before dissolving completely into the warm air above. A memory might appear, soft and hazy around the edges, before drifting away like a cloud passing over the face of a distant mountain. A fragment of tomorrow's plans might surface briefly before being absorbed into the general atmosphere of not needing to think about anything at all. The chair has become an extension of your own body now, or perhaps your body has become an extension of the chair. The distinction has ceased to matter. What matters is this perfect synthesis of support and surrender, this ideal balance between being held and letting go. Every curve, every angle, every point of contact has found its natural harmony, creating a unified system of comfort that seems designed by angels specifically for your rest. Listen to how the lodge itself has joined the symphony of your relaxation now. The wooden beams overhead creak occasionally with that settling sound that old buildings make when they're completely at peace with themselves. The walls seem to expand and contract slightly with your breathing, as if the entire structure has synchronized its rhythm with your body's natural cycles. Even the foundation beneath you feels alive with the slow, patient pulse of deep contentment. Your face has found that expression of absolute serenity that comes only when every muscle has released its hold on consciousness and surrendered to the pull of dreams. Your jaw has dropped naturally, allowing your breath to flow with perfect ease. Your lips might be slightly parted, creating the perfect pathway for air to move in and out without any resistance whatsoever. Your cheeks are soft and unguarded, carrying perhaps the faintest suggestion of a smile as your body recognizes the profound gift it's receiving. The fire's warmth has penetrated to places within you that you'd forgotten existed, melting tensions so old they'd become part of your identity, dissolving knots of worry that you'd carried for so long you'd stopped noticing their weight. This heat isn't just warming your skin anymore, it's warming your thoughts, your memories, your very essence, creating an internal climate of such perfect comfort that sleep becomes not just possible, but inevitable. Behind your closed eyelids, which have found that perfect weight where staying shut requires absolutely no effort, the snow globe world has transformed into something even more magical than what exists outside your window. The snowflakes are made of light now, each one carrying its own gentle illumination, as it drifts through a space that seems to exist both around you and within you simultaneously. The fire's glow has become pure golden energy flowing through your body, and the lodge itself has expanded into a sanctuary that encompasses not just this room, but every moment of peace you've ever known. Your heartbeat has slowed to match the deeper rhythms of the winter night, the patient pulse of snow accumulating flake by flake, the slow breathing of sleeping trees, the ancient rhythm of the earth itself turning gently through space. Each beat sends waves of warmth and relaxation radiating outward from your chest, flowing down your arms, up into your head, down through your torso and into your legs, creating a circulation of pure tranquility that nourishes every cell. The snow outside is creating its own gentle music now, that whisper-soft sound of countless flakes landing on the growing accumulation beyond your windows. It's not quite audible in the conventional sense, but something you feel in that space between thoughts, that quiet place where your deepest awareness lives. Each flake that lands adds another note to this winter symphony, building a song of rest that seems composed specifically to guide you across the threshold into sleep. Your legs have discovered their perfect resting position, completely supported by the chair, yet somehow feeling as if they're floating in warm water. The muscles in your thighs have released so completely that they feel liquid, flowing, and soft. Your calves rest without any tension, and your feet have reached that ideal state where they're neither warm nor cool, just perfectly, neutrally comfortable, as if they've found their natural temperature at last. The interplay of light and shadow in the room has created the most exquisite ambience for sleep, with the golden glow from the fire painting everything in shades of warmth and comfort. When your eyes drift open briefly, just for a moment, you notice how this light transforms even the simplest objects into something sacred. The wooden surfaces seem to glow from within. The soft textures appear touched by starlight. Even the air itself seems to shimmer with contentment. Your breathing has evolved into something that seems to happen entirely outside your conscious control now, guided instead by the deeper wisdom of your body, which knows exactly what it needs to prepare for the most restorative sleep. Each inhale draws in not just oxygen, but the very essence of this magical place, the concentrated peace that fills every corner of your snow globe sanctuary. Each exhale releases not just carbon dioxide, but every remaining fragment of the day's concerns, every tiny thread that might still connect you to anything other than this moment of perfect rest. The snow continues its eternal dance beyond your window, but now each flake seems to be falling in rhythm with your increasingly slow pulse, timed perfectly to the waves of relaxation that flow through your body like gentle tide. Some cluster together as they descend, creating delicate formations that bloom and dissolve in the crystalline air. Others spread out across the full width of your view, painting patterns of peace against the soft grey backdrop of the winter sky. Your hands have found their final resting position, so completely relaxed that they feel weightless, as if they're being supported by invisible cushions of air Your fingers are soft and uncurled, no longer grasping at anything from your day, no longer holding on to any tension or urgency. They simply exist in a state of perfect stillness, like flowers that have closed their petals for the evening. Content to rest until morning gives them reason to open again. The warmth from the fire has reached that perfect, sustainable temperature where it feels like your own natural radiance extending outward rather than heat from an external source. You've become a generator of comfort yourself now, creating waves of peace that seem to fill not just the lodge, but extend outward into the snowy landscape beyond. As if your growing tranquility is somehow connected to the very fabric of this winter wonderland. Behind your eyelids, the lodge has become more than just a physical space. It's transformed into a state of consciousness, a way of being in the world that's characterized by complete safety, perfect trust, and absolute surrender to the natural process of rest. This feeling, this atmosphere of deep peace, is something that's becoming part of who you are, something you can carry with you wherever you go, a sanctuary of the soul that exists independently of any external circumstances. The fire's crackling has woven itself so completely into the fabric of your awareness that it's no longer a sound you're hearing, but a rhythm you're feeling in your bones, in your blood, in the slow circulation of contentment that flows through every part of your being. It's become the heartbeat of home itself, the ancient song of safety and warmth that speaks to the deepest, most primitive parts of your brain that remember what it feels like to be completely, utterly safe. Your spine has found its natural alignment now, each vertebra settling into its perfect position without any conscious effort on your part. The gentle curve of your back is fully supported by the chair, which continues to adjust itself mysteriously to your body's changing needs as you sink deeper into relaxation. There's no pressure anywhere, no points of tension or discomfort, just a continuous flow of support that allows every part of your torso to release completely. Outside, the snow has begun to create its own subtle architecture, building small drifts against the bases of trees, accumulating in gentle curves and hollows that follow the natural contours of the landscape. Each new flake finds exactly the right place to land, adding to the growing sculpture of winter peace that surrounds your lodge. The world is being transformed into something softer, quieter, more conducive to the deep rest that's pulling at you now with increasing gentleness. The boundary between your consciousness and the snow globe world has dissolved so completely that you can no longer tell where your awareness ends and the winter landscape begins. You might be sitting in a chair watching snow fall, or you might be floating through the crystalline air yourself, drifting downward with the same peaceful inevitability as the flakes outside your window. The distinction has ceased to matter because both experiences feel equally real, equally beautiful, equally perfect. Your thoughts, when they appear at all now, are like whispers of wind through snow-laden branches, barely audible, completely gentle, carrying no urgency or demand for attention. They arise and dissolve so naturally that they become part of the overall symphony of rest rather than distractions from it. A memory might surface like a bubble rising slowly through honey, visible for a moment before popping silently and disappearing without leaving any trace behind. The lodge around you seems to be settling deeper into its own state of perfect rest, the walls expanding and contracting gently with your breathing, the ceiling seeming to rise higher to accommodate your growing sense of spaciousness and peace. Even the foundation beneath you feels more solid, more supportive, as if the entire structure is drawing strength from your surrender, becoming more itself as you become more at rest. Your face has settled into that expression of profound tranquility that comes only when consciousness is preparing to transition into sleep. All the tiny muscles around your eyes have released completely, creating that soft, unguarded look of total trust. Your forehead is smooth and untroubled, free of any lines of concern or concentration. Your entire countenance carries that gentle radiance that appears when the soul is completely at peace with itself and the world. The snow outside continues to accumulate in patterns that seem both random and perfectly planned, each drift and mound forming exactly where it needs to be to create the most beautiful landscape possible. The evergreen trees are being sculpted into works of art by the gentle weight of gathered flakes, their branches bending into new graceful shapes that seem to reach toward your window in blessing. Listen to how all the sounds of your lodge have blended now into a single, complex lullaby that seems designed specifically to carry you across the threshold between waking and sleeping. The fire's crackling provides the steady bass rhythm, deep and reassuring. The whisper of falling snow adds the gentle melody line, so soft it's more felt than heard. Your own breathing contributes the overall tempo, slow and measured and perfectly timed to guide you naturally toward dreams. Your entire body has synchronized with the gentle rhythms of this magical place, every system finding its natural pace within the larger harmony of winter rest. Your circulation has slowed to match the patient flow of sap in sleeping trees. Your nervous system has downregulated to match the quiet pulse of snow accumulating grain by grain. Even your digestive system has found its most restful state, allowing all your body's energy to focus on the single task of preparing for the most restorative sleep possible. The chair beneath you has become something more than furniture now. It's a cloud, a gentle hand supporting you, a perfect cradle that responds to your every need without you having to think about it or ask for anything. You've melted into it so completely that the distinction between your body and its support has vanished entirely. You exist now in a state of perfect unity with comfort itself. Behind your closed eyelids, which seem to have found their ideal weight and temperature, the snow globe world is revealing new layers of beauty that emerge directly from your own deepening peace. The fire's glow has become visible even through your closed eyes. A warm, golden presence that fills not just the room, but your entire inner landscape with light and comfort. The snowflakes continue their dance, but now they seem to be falling through the space of your own consciousness, each one a small blessing, a tiny gift of tranquility. Your breathing has found that magical rhythm where it seems to happen entirely on its own, guided by a wisdom deeper than thought, deeper than consciousness, deeper than anything except the fundamental life force that knows exactly what you need to prepare for sleep. The pauses between breaths have stretched into perfect moments of stillness where nothing exists except pure, undisturbed peace. Each cycle carries you a little further from wakefulness, a little closer to the dreams that are gathering like gentle clouds on the horizon of consciousness. The warmth from the fire has penetrated so deeply into your being that it's reached places that haven't been warm in years, dissolved tensions that have been frozen in place for longer than you can remember. This isn't just physical heat anymore, it's emotional warmth, spiritual comfort. The kind of deep healing that can only happen when you're completely safe, completely supported, completely free to let go of everything except this perfect moment of rest. Outside your window, the snow globe world continues its eternal performance, but now it seems less like something you're watching and more like something you're participating in. Each flake that falls seems to carry away another fragment of wakefulness. Each gentle drift that forms seems to cushion your descent into sleep. The entire landscape has become a meditation on rest, a visual prayer for peace, a living lullaby made of light and snow and winter silence. Your hands rest in their final position, so relaxed they seem to be dissolving into the warm air around them. Your fingers are completely soft, curved gently like sleeping birds, no longer holding onto anything from your day, no longer grasping at any thought or concern. They simply exist in perfect stillness, part of the overall harmony of rest that encompasses every aspect of your being. The fire behind you burns with that perfect, sustainable warmth that requires no attention, no concern, no intervention from the conscious mind. It simply exists, radiating comfort and light, and the ancient peace that comes from the ideal marriage of fuel and flame. Its gentle crackling has become the soundtrack to your journey into sleep, the rhythmic guide that will carry you safely across the bridge between consciousness and dreams. Time itself has taken on that dreamy quality where minutes might be hours or seconds might be eternities. And none of it matters because you're exactly where you need to be, exactly when you need to be there. The outside world, with all its schedules and demands and urgent notifications, exists somewhere far beyond the snow-covered trees that ring your lodge. It's not gone exactly, but it's completely irrelevant, powerless to disturb the perfect sanctuary you found here in your snow globe world of eternal winter peace. Your thoughts have become like the snowflakes outside now, appearing gently in your awareness before drifting away without leaving any residue behind. There's no need to chase them or push them away. They're simply part of the natural flow of consciousness, settling into rest, like leaves floating on a perfectly still pond, creating barely a ripple before dissolving completely into the deeper currents of approaching sleep. The lodge itself seems to be dreaming now, its wooden beams settling into that deep contentment that comes to old buildings when they've fulfilled their purpose completely. You can feel the structure around you exhaling, releasing any tensions from the day's weather, the night's cooling air, the gentle weight of accumulated snow on its roof. Even the stones of the fireplace seem to radiate a satisfaction deeper than warmth, as if they too understand their role in creating this perfect sanctuary for rest. Your breathing has entered that sacred space where each inhale seems to draw in the very essence of winter's wisdom, that ancient knowledge of how to rest completely, how to surrender to the natural cycles that govern all living things. The air you're breathing has been warmed by the fire, softened by the lodge's embrace, and perfumed with the clean, crisp scent of snow that somehow manages to slip through the walls like a blessing. Outside your window, the snowfall has developed its own personality now, each flake seeming to carry its own intention as it drifts toward the earth. Some pause mid-flight, hovering in the crystalline air as if they're savoring the view from up there, reluctant to complete their journey because the falling itself is so beautiful. Others spiral downward in complex patterns that seem choreographed by some invisible conductor who understands the music of winter nights. The accumulation beyond the glass has reached that perfect depth where it transforms everything into art. The familiar shapes of bushes and rocks have become abstract sculptures, gentle mounds and curves that exist purely for beauty, purely for the way they catch and hold the soft light spilling from your windows. Even the path that might lead away from your lodge has been erased, not buried, but transformed into something that connects to everywhere and nowhere. A ribbon of possibility that exists only in the realm of dreams. Your body has discovered something remarkable about this state of complete relaxation. The usual boundaries that define where you end and the world begins have become wonderfully blurred. Your skin feels like it extends beyond its normal limits, encompassing the warm air around you, the gentle light, even the soft sounds that fill the space. You're not just sitting in the lodge anymore. You've become part of its atmosphere, woven into its fabric of peace and safety. The fire has reached that stage where it burns with the wisdom of countless winter nights, each flame seeming to carry the memory of every soul who has ever found comfort beside a hearth just like this one. The logs have arranged themselves in perfect harmony, creating channels for air that maintain the ideal temperature, the perfect balance between warmth and the gentle coolness that helps the body prepare for deep sleep. Listen to how your heartbeat has synchronized with the larger rhythm of the winter night now. Each pulse seems timed to the patient accumulation of snow, to the slow breathing of sleeping trees, to the ancient rhythm of the earth itself turning gently through space. Your heart isn't just beating anymore. It's participating in a symphony that includes every peaceful moment that has ever existed in places like this one. Your thoughts, when they surface at all now, arrive like memories from someone else's dreams, soft and hazy around the edges, carrying no urgency or demand for attention. They might be fragments of conversations from earlier today, or images from childhood winters, or simply the mind's gentle way of sorting through experiences before filing them away for the night. Each thought appears briefly before dissolving into the warm air above your head, like smoke from the fire finding its natural path upward and away. The chair has become so much more than a piece of furniture now. It's evolved into something that seems to anticipate your body's needs before you're even aware of them yourself. A slight shift in your weight is immediately accommodated. The temperature seems to adjust to match your skin exactly. Even the texture of the fabric seems to become softer, more welcoming, as if the chair itself is settling into its own state of perfect rest. Behind your eyelids, which have found that ideal weight where they rest against your cheeks with no effort whatsoever, the snow globe world has expanded into something infinite. The lodge extends in all directions now, encompassing not just this room, but every moment of peace you've ever experienced, every instance of perfect safety, every memory of being exactly where you belonged. This space exists not just around you, but within you, a sanctuary that you can return to whenever you need to remember what true rest feels like. Your face has settled into that expression of profound serenity that comes only when every muscle has released its hold on the day's expressions and surrendered to the approaching embrace of sleep. Your jaw has found its natural resting position, slightly open, creating the perfect pathway for breath to flow without any resistance. Your cheeks are soft and warm, perhaps carrying the faintest suggestion of a smile, as your body recognizes the profound gift it's receiving in this magical space. The snow outside continues its eternal dance, but now each flake seems to be falling in perfect synchronization with the waves of relaxation flowing through your body. Some drift close to the window, their intricate crystalline structures briefly visible in the golden light from your lodge before they join the growing accumulation below. Others maintain their distance, creating patterns against the soft grey sky that speak of winter's infinite creativity. Your arms have found their final resting position, completely supported, yet somehow feeling as if they're floating in warm honey. Your shoulders have dropped so completely that they feel like they're melting into the chair's embrace, no longer carrying any of the invisible weight that accumulates during ordinary days. Your hands rest with fingers gently curved, no longer holding on to anything from your waking hours, simply present and peaceful and still. The warmth from the fire has reached that perfect, sustainable temperature where it feels like your own natural radiance, extending outward rather than heat from an external source. This inner fire that's been kindled will remain with you long after you leave this magical place, a constant reminder of what true peace feels like. A source of comfort you can draw upon whenever the outside world becomes too demanding or urgent. Outside your window, the landscape is being transformed into something that exists primarily to support your rest, to create the perfect visual meditation for your journey into sleep. The evergreen trees stand like gentle guardians around your lodge, their snow-laden branches reaching toward your windows in what seems like a blessing. The accumulation on the ground creates soft, rolling contours that please the eye and calm the mind, a geography of peace that extends as far as you can see. Your breathing has slowed to match the deepest rhythms of winter itself, the patient expansion and contraction of snow-heavy branches, the slow accumulation of tranquility that builds moment by moment, breath by breath. Each exhale carries away another layer of anything that doesn't belong in this perfect state of rest. Each inhale draws in more of the pure essence of this snow globe world's concentrated peace. The fire's crackling has woven itself so completely into your consciousness that it's become less like a sound you're hearing and more like a vibration you're feeling in your bones. In the slow circulation of contentment, that flows through every part of your being. It's the heartbeat of home itself, the ancient rhythm of safety and warmth that speaks to the most fundamental parts of your nature, that remember what it feels like to be completely protected. Your legs have discovered their perfect resting position, whether stretched out before you or curled comfortably to one side. The muscles in your thighs have released so completely that they feel liquid, flowing, and soft. Your calves rest without any tension, and your feet have reached that ideal state where they're neither warm nor cool, just perfectly, neutrally comfortable, as if they found their natural temperature in this magical space. Behind your closed eyes, the lodge is becoming something even more extraordinary than the physical space around you. It's transforming into a state of being, a way of existing in the world that's characterized by complete trust in the natural process of rest, perfect faith in your body's wisdom to guide you safely into sleep, absolute confidence that you are exactly where you need to be. The snow continues to fall in patterns that seem both random and perfectly choreographed, each flake following its own unique path downward, while contributing to a larger design that speaks of winter's infinite intelligence. Some cluster together in small groups, creating delicate formations that spiral through the air like aerial ballets performed just for you. Others spread out across the full width of your window view, painting brushstrokes of peace against the crystalline night. Your spine has found its natural alignment now, each vertebra settling into its ideal position, without any conscious effort on your part. The gentle curves of your back are fully supported by the chair, which continues to adjust mysteriously to your body's changing needs as you sink deeper into relaxation. There's no pressure anywhere, no points of tension or discomfort, just a continuous flow of support that allows every part of your torso to release completely into this perfect state of rest. The interplay of light and shadow in the room has created the most exquisite ambience for sleep, with the golden glow from the fire painting, everything in shades of warmth and comfort. The soft grey light from the snowy world outside adds its own gentle illumination, creating a perfect balance that's neither too bright nor too dim, but exactly right for eyes that are preparing to close for the night. Listen to how all the sounds of your lodge have blended now into a single, complex lullaby that seems composed specifically to guide you across the threshold between consciousness and dreams. The fire's crackling provides the steady rhythm, deep and reassuring like a heartbeat. The whisper of falling snow adds the gentle melody, so soft it's more felt than heard. Your own breathing contributes the overall tempo, slow and measured and perfectly timed to carry you naturally toward the realm of sleep. Your hands have found their final resting position, so completely relaxed that they seem to be dissolving into the warm air around them. Your fingers are soft and uncurled, curved gently like flower petals that have closed for the evening, no longer grasping at any thoughts or concerns from your day. They simply exist in perfect stillness, part of the overall harmony of rest that encompasses every aspect of your being in this magical snow globe sanctuary. The boundary between your consciousness and the winter wonderland outside has dissolved so completely that you can no longer distinguish between watching the snowfall and being part of it yourself. You might be sitting peacefully in your chair, or you might be drifting gently downward with the flakes, carried by the same invisible currents that guide them toward their resting places. Both experiences feel equally real, equally beautiful, equally perfect. Outside, the snow has begun to create its own subtle music, that whisper-quiet sound of countless flakes landing on the growing accumulation beyond your windows. It's not quite audible in the conventional sense, but something you feel in that space between thoughts, that quiet place where your deepest awareness lives. Each flake that lands adds another note to this winter symphony, building a song of rest that seems designed specifically to accompany your journey into sleep. Your thoughts have become like the smoke rising from the fire now, visible for brief moments before dissolving completely into the warm air above. A memory might surface, soft and dreamlike around the edges, before drifting away like a cloud, passing over the face of a distant mountain. A fragment of tomorrow's possibilities might appear briefly before being absorbed into the general atmosphere of not needing to think about anything at all. The chair beneath you has evolved into something that seems to understand your body better than you do yourself, anticipating every need, providing support in exactly the right places, adjusting its embrace as you sink deeper into relaxation. You've merged with it so completely that the distinction between furniture and comfort has vanished entirely. You exist now in a state of perfect unity with support itself. Your face has settled into that expression of absolute tranquility that comes only when every muscle has released its hold on the day's expressions and surrendered to the approaching embrace of dreams. Your jaw rests naturally, slightly open, creating the perfect pathway for breath to flow without any resistance whatsoever. Your cheeks are soft and unguarded, carrying perhaps the faintest suggestion of contentment as your body recognizes the profound peace it's discovering. The fire behind you burns with that confident, sustainable warmth that requires no attention, no concern, no intervention from your conscious mind. It simply exists, radiating comfort and light, and the ancient peace that comes from the perfect marriage of fuel and flame, wood and heat, the solid and the ethereal. Its gentle crackling has become the soundtrack to your descent into sleep, the rhythmic guide that will carry you safely across the bridge between waking and dreaming. Behind your eyelids, which have found that perfect weight and temperature, the snow globe world is revealing new layers of beauty that seem to emerge directly from your own growing peace. The snowflakes continue their dance, but now they appear to be made of light itself, each one carrying its own gentle illumination as it drifts through a space that exists both around you and within you simultaneously. Your breathing has found that sacred rhythm where it seems to happen entirely outside your conscious control, guided instead by the deeper wisdom of your body, which knows exactly what it needs to prepare for the most restorative sleep possible. The pauses between breaths have stretched into perfect moments of absolute stillness, where nothing exists except pure, undisturbed peace that extends infinitely in all directions. The warmth from the fire has penetrated to places within you that haven't been truly warm in longer than you can remember, dissolving tensions so old they'd become part of your identity, melting worries that had frozen into permanent fixtures in your consciousness. This heat isn't just warming your skin anymore, it's warming your thoughts, your memories, your very essence, creating an internal climate of such perfect comfort that sleep becomes not just possible, but inevitable. Outside your window, the snow globe world continues its eternal performance, each element perfectly timed to support your journey into rest. The flakes fall with the patience of eternity, the trees stand guard with the steadiness of mountains, and the accumulation builds with the gentleness of time itself, creating a landscape that exists primarily to cradle your consciousness as it prepares to transition into dreams. Your entire body has synchronized with the gentle rhythms of this magical place, every system finding its natural pace within the larger harmony of winter rest. Your circulation flows with the unhurried patience of sap in sleeping trees. Your nervous system pulses with the quiet rhythm of snow, accumulating grain by grain. Even your thoughts move with the leisurely pace of clouds drifting across an infinite sky. The lodge around you breathes with your own respiratory rhythm now, its walls expanding gently with each of your inhalations, settling softly with each exhale. The entire structure has found its rhythm with your body's natural cycles, creating a unified system of comfort and support that encompasses not just your physical form, but your entire being as it prepares for the deepest, most restorative sleep. And still the snow continues to fall, each flake a small messenger from the realm of dreams, carrying with it the promise of rest, the assurance of peace, the gentle invitation to let go completely. and trust in the natural process that will carry you safely from this state of perfect relaxation into the even deeper tranquility of sleep itself, where your snow globe lodge will continue to exist, waiting patiently for your return whenever you need to remember what true peace feels like. Your body has become so perfectly attuned to this magical space that you've begun to breathe with the very rhythm of winter itself. Each inhalation draws in not just the warm, fire-scented air, but something deeper, something that speaks to the ancient part of your soul that remembers what it feels like to be completely, utterly at peace. The oxygen seems to carry with it the essence of snow-covered silence, the wisdom of sleeping trees, the profound stillness that exists at the heart of perfect winter nights. With each exhale, you're releasing more than just carbon dioxide. You're letting go of the last whispers of urgency that might have followed you into this sacred space. Every outbreath carries away another fragment of the ordinary world's demands. Another thread that once connected you to schedules and obligations and all the sharp-edged concerns that exist somewhere far beyond the snow-laden trees surrounding your lodge. The fire behind you has discovered its deepest voice now. A crackling that resonates not just in your ears, but in your chest, in your bones, in the slow circulation of contentment that flows through every vein. The logs have settled into their perfect final arrangement, creating a sustainable burn that will last through the entire night, requiring no attention from you, no conscious thought, no intervention of any kind. It simply exists, like your heartbeat, like your breathing, like the gentle pulse of peace that now governs every aspect of your being. Outside your window, something extraordinary is happening to the snowfall itself. The flakes are beginning to move in patterns that seem almost choreographed, as if they're responding to the rhythm of your increasingly slow pulse. Some drift in spirals that mirror the way your thoughts are now moving, lazy and unhurried, taking their time to traverse the space of your consciousness before dissolving into the warm atmosphere of approaching sleep. Others fall in perfectly straight lines, like gentle rain made of crystallized starlight, each one catching the golden glow from your lodge windows for just a moment before continuing its journey toward the ever-deepening accumulation below. The sight is hypnotic in the most wonderful way, drawing your eyes into a soft focus that makes everything else fade into comfortable, irrelevant background. Your snow globe lodge remains here now, eternal and waiting, a sanctuary carved from winter's deepest wisdom and your soul's quiet knowing. The fire will continue its ancient song, the snow will dance its endless ballet, and this chair will hold the perfect memory of your surrender. Sleep now, knowing you can return to this place whenever rest feels distant, whenever the world becomes too much. Close your eyes one final time and let the rhythm of falling snow carry you home.